It was a cold evening and Sarah was in the animal shelter. She had a big job to do. Her client, Mr. Green, said his dog Max was stolen by his neighbor Mrs. Brown. Sarah had to prove that Mrs. Brown took Max, but when she saw Mrs. Brown hugging the dog, something felt wrong. Sarah had all the papers to show Max belonged to Mr. Green. She had pictures and receipts from when he bought the dog, but when she saw Mrs. Brown with Max, she began to feel unsure. Mrs. Brown looked sad, and Max seemed happy in her arm. But the papers say Max is Mr. Green's dog. Sarah talked to the shelter workers, and they showed her a small tag on Max's collar. Max, from Jane. Who's Jane? Sarah couldn't stop thinking about the tag. The next day in court, the judge asked a question. Did you ever find out who Jean is? Mrs. Brown cried. She said, Jane is my daughter. Max was my daughter's dog. After Jane died, I promised her I would take care of Max. Sarah felt confused. She had always thought the law was about being right, but now she wasn't sure. In the end, the judge ruled that Max should stay with Mrs. Brown. Sometimes it's better to be kind than to be right. Love and promises matter more than papers. One dad thought he had a moment to relax. Little did he know, trouble was brewing right outside the kids' bedrooms. After a long day, he sneaks in a long shower, blissfully unaware of the chaos unfolding. But then, the screams of his 3-year-old shatter the peace, echoing through the house. You couldn't calm him down? I tried 3 times. He wouldn't listen. He rushes to his son's side, believing a dad's hug could fix everything. But something doesn't feel right. I have a mess. But as he shines the light, he's hit with a shocking revelation. Blood everywhere. His first bloody nose, and it was bad. Those weren't tears dripping down his shoulder. With panic rising, he calls for help. Shout out the bloody items! He yells, feeling overwhelmed. He tucks the child back into bed. Now calm, but still shaken, he gently asks, why didn't you let Mommy help? Mommy didn't check on me. Somebody never checked on me. Frustration bubbled over. He felt abandoned. She felt blamed. But who's really at fault? Sometimes the mess isn't just about blood. It's about communication, understanding, and teamwork. A woman worked a late shift in a convenience store in New York. She had just received a strange phone call. Your past has found you. But the woman wasn't just a regular cashier. On her way home, the woman realized someone was following her. She quickly ran into the subway station, but in an empty train car, she came face to face with the stranger. He wore a mask and handed her a phone, showing a video of her testimony in court. Before the trial, the woman had received a letter threatening her family if she didn't change her story. But she decided to testify anyway. As she spoke in court, a man in the crowd made a throat-slashing gesture. Her heart raced, but she didn't back down. Change your testimony or you'll regret it, the man warned. Who do you think you are to tell me what to do? The man pulled out a photo of the woman's family. They won't be safe anymore, he said. If you want my testimony, you'll have to pay the price. Standing up and pushing past him. She ran for the train door, knowing it might be a trap, but it was her only choice. Then the subway doors opened. Police rushed in and quickly caught her. Are you okay? One officer asked. We're here to protect you. The woman's eyes filled with disbelief. Truth may be threatened, but it cannot be silenced when you stand firm. This woman was shopping when she heard yelling from the parking lot. A teenage girl stood crying beside a dented car. An angry man was shouting at her. You scratched my car. You'll pay for this. But sir, I didn't touch your car, the girl sobbed. The man's wife joined in. We saw you. Stop lying. You kids think you can get away with anything. A crowd gathered, but no one spoke up. The girl's hands were shaking. I was just walking to my mom's car. I promise I didn't do anything. The man pulled out his phone. I'm calling the cops. You're going to juvie for this. Suddenly, a woman from the crowd stepped forward. Stop! I saw everything. That dent was already there when you parked. The man turned red. Mind your business, lady. The woman didn't back down. This girl did nothing wrong. You're bullying her because she's young and alone. The wife sneered. Why do you even care? It's not your problem. The woman's voice cracked. Because when I was her age, a store owner accused me of stealing. No one believed me. No one stood up for me. I went to jail for something I didn't do. It destroyed my life. I won't let that happen to another innocent child. Security reviewed the cameras. The woman was right. The dent existed before the girl arrived. The couple walked away in shame. The girl hugged the woman tightly. Thank you for believing me. Sometimes the bravest thing is speaking up when everyone else stays silent. Comment yes if you defend the innocent. Jake called me from jail. I need you to bail me out, he said. His voice sounded scared, but I froze. Jake had been my best friend for 10 years, but he would yell over little things and even punch walls. 2 years ago, he married Sarah. She's the kindest person I've ever met, but Jake yelled at her too, over silly things like food not being salty enough. I worried about her. Yesterday, a neighbor called the police because Jake hit Sarah during an argument. Now Jake was in jail. He begged me to help him. Friends don't abandon each other, but Sarah called me too. Her voice was quiet but firm. Thank you for not not bailing him out. Jake needs to face the consequences. I've decided to leave him, but I knew Sarah was right. I went to the jail not to bail Jake out, but to tell him why. You crossed a line. You need help, not a way out of trouble. Jake got angry. You're a fake friend, but I stayed calm. Real friends don't let you hurt others without consequences. Friendship doesn't mean ignoring bad behavior. Real friends help you grow even when it hurts.
My husband and I have been married for 5 years. We agreed not to have children. We both enjoy our careers, love to travel, and relish the freedom that comes with not having kids. However, my in-laws are very traditional and believe that children are essential for a happy marriage. At every family gathering, they ask us when we're going to start a family. Last month at my sister-in-law's wedding, my mother-in-law accused me of being selfish for not having children. She even said I was ruining her son's life. I was shocked and hurt, but I stood firm on the decision we made together. My husband tried to talk to his parents, but they refused to listen, insisting that I was influencing him. They even suggested that if I didn't change my mind, my husband should leave me. This ongoing pressure has strained our relationship with them. We've had to limit our visits and avoid certain topics to keep the peace. Some friends advise me to compromise and have a child to make everyone happy. They argue that family is important and this could be a compromise, but I don't think it's right to have a child to please others, especially when neither of us wants to be parents. So we are standing firm on our decision. But am I really wrong?
Elliot was at a fancy party, surrounded by rich people. He was the center of attention, everyone praising his success. He had money, power, and respect. But deep inside, Elliot felt something was missing. Even with all the praise, he wondered, if I lost all this, would anyone still care about me? Later that night, Elliot received a call from his father, George. George was a simple man who owned a small shop. He had always warned Elliot not to get lost in the world of money and status. But Elliot didn't want to hear it. Dad doesn't understand my world. The next few weeks were tough. Elliot's business started facing problems. His decisions were based more on keeping up his image than solving real issues. His relationships began to break down, and the people who once supported him began to leave. Still, Elliot didn't change his ways. But then one day, Elliot's company was hit with a big scandal. News spread quickly, and people turned against him. His reputation, which he had worked so hard to build, was now in ruins. Elliot was lost. He remembered his father's words, but felt too proud to call him. Finally, feeling broken, Elliot read a letter from his dad. Status is temporary. Family and real friends are forever. This woman stood at her apartment door, keys shaking in her hand. Her boyfriend Jake sat on the couch with his bags packed. "I'm done, Sarah. This isn't working anymore," he said coldly. Sarah's heart broke. "But Jake, where will you go? You lost your job last month. You have no money." "That's not my problem anymore. We're over," Jake snapped. "I found someone else, someone who actually has her life together." Sarah stared at him. For 2 years, she had paid all the bills. She cooked his meals. She helped him when he was sick. Now he was leaving her for another woman. "Fine, but you need to move out. This is my apartment," Jake laughed. "Really? You're going to throw me on the streets? What happened to the caring girl I knew?" Sarah almost gave in. She wanted to be kind, but then she remembered all the nights he came home late, all the lies, all the times he made her feel small. "I gave you everything, Jake. My love, my money, my home, but I won't give you my self-respect." She opened the door. "You have 1 hour." As Jake grabbed his bags, he whispered, "You'll regret this." Sarah smiled sadly. "No, Jake, I regret not doing this sooner." Comment yes if she did the right thing.